All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is another episode of the Face to Face podcast. I am not Nesta, but I am Caprice, and I will be running the show. To my left, two amazing gentlemen that I had the pleasure of knowing due to circumstances. Introduce yourself.
Yeah, what up? It's your boy Alley Cat.
And I'm the infamous twin.
And you now watching Face to Face.
The Kultcha on this.
Know what I mean? We do what we do, how we do it, when we do it. You heard me?
You know what I mean?
See, this is why I give them the space to do what they do. Okay, so now from what I'm hearing, you guys have a very, very, very interesting podcast going on over their show, right? Please explain a little bit about that.
It's time we reintroduce ourselves, right? Yeah. Speak on it.
So it's the Kultcha. It's spelled emphatically incorrect. DAKULTCHA. It is not one word. It is two words. DA Kultcha. KULTCHA. It's about bridging the gap between the elders and the youth. I mean, and giving back to the community and make sure that we have knowledge of self and awareness of what's going on in the world today. If you ain't been watching us or you haven't had the chance to, take a look at it. We transfer platforms. We not on YouTube no more, so we can't be censored.
Oh, is that why you're not? Oh, did they try to shut you down?
They threw us in YouTube jail a couple of times.
Yeah. They do that. They know for that.
Nah, because we forecast when this COVID hit. We started pre-COVID. We started the Kultcha. I don't know if you know, but so when COVID hit, the world was changing, and you had George Floyd, you had all of these situations, and as it was going on, we was putting out episodes still. We would do lives, and what was going on was we was speaking actual truths, and we predicted. Anybody that want to watch the Kultcha, you can look at the timestamps. Some of the stuff that we still have left on YouTube because we're peeling it off.
Right.
So it was timestamps, and what we was doing was predicting what was going on in society. We was predicting every move that was going to be made.
Wow.
We would say that it was going to be mandated vaccinations. We was going to say the job was going to do this. This is going to be, and watch the wording. And all that being said, it was just like, so YouTube was like, and a lack of better words, they was like, yo, fuck these little niggas.
Yeah.
Like these little black niggas saying too much. Yeah. Because America's a pharmaceutical company.
Oh, yeah, that's where the money,
we was blessed on our travels. We met a young lady by the name of Alicia Rain.
Okay.
And she started Rain TV. We got a couple of other offers to be streamed on the Roku streaming service, but it was other channels. Basically it's other networks. Yeah. Black networks at this, but they wanted to charge everybody. Because you still got to pay for it. You don't pay for YouTube because YouTube is already got the situation, sponsorship. We always behind. If we ain't 400 years behind, we 100 years now, they say. And we probably
I mean, if you look at it right now, they actually got an action lawsuit against YouTube. A lot of black channels got collectively an action lawsuit against YouTube for the censorship. And plus, they talking about now the racism and the algorithms in YouTube.
And then
so I think that's interesting.
And then you have what they call when they block you, shadow blocking.
Oh yes, so shadow banned or something like that. Yeah.
So we pardon me. So we've been through all those situations, but it hit us hard during COVID. So like I said, we met Miss Alicia Rain. We did some stuff with her. We was actually on her show. She has a strong following on Facebook with an older crowd. So we was on there, and she took a liking to us. So one day she gave me a call. You
guys are likable gentlemen. Go ahead.
So she took a liking to us. She gave us a call. She was like, "Yo, she hit me first, and I had got two offers on the table. I ain't really discussed it with him because I was like, yo, I'm not seeing us pay for something, and we gonna help brand. So now, but I understood, but I was like, nah, I'll just wait because we gonna help brand it.
Right.
So long story short, I got another offer on the table.
Oh my God!
But another
hold on, I gotta give you something. Come on now, you're not gonna.
So they was talking crazy. They was talking crazy. Now this is like they was like, yo, I'm veteran. I'm like, well, my nigga, like you check my resume, I don't even know nothing about you.
Right.
you're like, yeah, that's a new network, but I don't even know nothing about you. Like, like you Google Alley Cat. Or you Google Smack DVD, you gonna see me.
True.
You gonna see the younger me.
True.
Know what I mean? So you gonna see, and the stories being told about me in the industry from other artists. I don't want to put them out there.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I got it.
You know what I mean? So, you know, I was being humble, and I was just like, with all the due respect, you know, I'll pass. But I knew I'd have to pay, but the way they was talking about paying her, and I was like, yo, so I went back to my partner, Twin, and I was like, yo, we got some offers, but just we gonna hold out, because we got something. I said, people don't see it, but we got something. I said, we predicted all this shit. I mean, people, I don't know if they really paying attention, but we got something. We're talking too positive, so that's why we don't have the numbers. But we got something. Like we still get back in the community. During COVID, we still did Christmas toy drives. You know what I mean? Even that I'm Muslim, we did Halloween haunted tents. We got an autism walk coming up. I don't know. April 24th, we got an autism awareness walk. This is gonna be the second one. Shout out to Fubu Radio. They're gonna pull up because they pulled up to our haunted tent show. Keith Perrin, one of the owners of Fubu.
Gotta give him a shout out. There you go.
So you need to have that shit ready. You supposed to have that ready, man.
I'm here.
You gotta be on point.
I gotta be on point. Okay, I'm gonna leave it.
You gotta leave it on. So, I mean, like,
I'm gonna leave it on.
So,
You gotta put the password in.
So now from there, you know, she called me back and was like, "I'm not gonna do that to y'all. I want you to fulfill your dreams." And I'm like, wow. Because it's a bugged out story, like how all of this came about. We said it on the last episode, but even further than that, like when I was a part of the Smack DVD, that wasn't my dream. That was his dream. I just had all the plugs. I knew all the people. I was in the streets, music, arts, culture, and knowledge. You know what I mean? So with this was like, I told my brother, I was like, yo, listen, man, you know, the ancestors, because he believes in ancestors. And he said, yo, the ancestors brought us away. We went on a trip together. We got stuck.
Trying to go to Japan.
Yeah, Narita. I got footage of the concert we missed and everything. We were supposed to meet with this group that's like number 2 on Gen Pop.
Jazz.
We were supposed to go to, I think it's...
They had the Jazz Festival.
Yeah,
they had the Jazz Festival in Japan.
That was a club
we
were supposed to go to. But it's crazy. I missed the flight. Missed the flight. He could have got on. I missed the flight.
Right.
So.
Don't you hate when that happens?
And after that, it was a tsunami.
Oh, wow.
So we was in Seattle. We had mad time. Shout out to Hootie. Know what I mean?
Shout out, man.
He came and got me and smiled.
Oh, man. See,
I
tried to hit me with a commercial. They hit me with a commercial.
Oh, man, you got to buy it.
There you go.
They want you to buy it.
I'm not buying a bell. I'm not buying a bell.
Well, you got to get one. Just get one here.
Oh, I do. I have an actual one, but I use my phone.
Yo, you notice we don't even get all the good props. He just brought the phone.
No. This is the prop. I promise you.
He half-assed us. Ladies and gentlemen.
I would never do that.
You know what I mean?
You got trophies here. What are you talking about? We bought you a longer tablecloth. You get anything, you know what I mean?
And we get to walk
on the wild side if you want to.
Wild side.
So now, we sat down. I think we was in Buffalo Wild Wings, and we really chopped it up. Cause you know they say when you travel together, you get to understand each other more.
True.
So we chopped it up. Yeah. Then we went to the casino. He didn't know how to play roulette.
Ooh, big gambling guy, huh?
We threw him on the table. Now it's my birthday weekend at that. We threw Twin on the table. I think Twin won. What you won, like
beginner's luck? Yeah, some beginner's
like
luck.
$3,000. Yo, so now
security came out and started staring at us.
Staring at us. He had to go.
Took off your hoodie.
He won. Actually, he dead serious. It was my hoodie.
Huh?
Are you serious?
And we had slippers on. You could tell we was all.
But they wasn't pressing us at first.
No,
like, we had slippers on. We was fresh off the flight. Like
they wasn't pressing us at all.
My man Hootie took us. Man, he took us to all.
They wasn't pressing us at all till we won a little money.
Oh, is that? Yeah.
We won $3,000, and that's not no real money.
Nah,
it's not no real money. That was a little money. But you know what? You believe it or not, what fucked them up?
Yeah.
Excuse my language. Like I got a better vocabulary, but you know this is what we do.
Yeah.
So what fucked them up was they gave us the paper, and Twin turned around and busted down between the three of us. He was like, nah, son. Boom.
Oh, so he was being generous.
No. That's my brother. He wasn't being generous.
No, but I'm just saying, you know, he's that.
No, that's what we. No, that's not generous.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's what we do.
Okay.
That's as a people. That's what we need to get back to.
Right.
I turned $100 to $3,000.
To $3,000.
And split it with your people.
And mind you, all we was doing on the sideline was like, nah, this is how you got to do it.
They tell me how to pick the numbers.
Pick the numbers. We was like, oh,
pick it.
that's close to here. This is it.
I got a rhythm.
So the number that hit for the $3,000, because I think we was down.
Yeah, we was down.
The number that hit for $3,000 was 24. My birthday.
Oh wow.
I said, put it all on 24 and we out. If we lose, we out. So he put all the rest of the money on 24.
What happened?
We all walked away from the table. The guy's like, where you going? The guy was like, we come back. We just walked around like, he put it down. We was like, oh, fuck it, man. We had a good time.
How did you feel when you were like, how does it feel to be able to like bless your peoples like that?
I don't look at it as a blessing, honestly. Like, if anybody
You
knows
guys are
me,
humble dudes.
it's not about being humble. I think I look at everything as a system, even a casino.
Okay.
You know, they only allow a certain amount of people to win. You know, you never could beat the house. So that's why I never really played too much, you know, until Al and them showed me how to play the game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. But I look at everything as a system, you know, we caught in the web. But, you know,
So
it's cool. You know, money, you got to spend money to make money.
True.
And you can't take it with you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know.
Right.
Spread the love.
We here now. Like
Yeah.
so we gonna keep battling. So we on Friday nights on Rain TV, REYGN.
Shout out to Elisa Rain. Please go watch, follow.
Oh, commercial.
You
You see how we get treated
I
in
don't
here?
know. I don't know what's
a lot of
going on.
enemies.
I don't know what's going on. This never happens. This never happens.
We in the
never
building.
happens. Okay.
They said the coach is in the building. Every time the coach steps in somewhere, they say, niggas, look, even when I be ignorant, they be like, these niggas is too positive. They're too intellectual. No, we're not intellectual. We intellectually smart. We're not intellectual dummies.
Yes, because there is a difference.
That's a big difference.
there
So
you
what
go.
we do is we sit down and we just fact check. You know, it's his story, but the culture, like we're gonna touch on so many new things that's coming up. We executive produce now shows. We have one show on Alicia Rain. It's called Back of the Classroom with Rel. We have four more projects.
What's the back of the class? What is that about?
Well, Rel basically breaks down books.
Well, it's an educational series,
Yes.
I call it more
Okay.
like, you know, where he read books like the 48 Laws of Power.
Oh, okay.
And he breaks it down each chapter, and he takes his time
Oh,
to
that's
go into
dope.
the deep details
Yeah,
about what it
and
means.
it's
That's really dope.
In case you have misconceptions
That's
about
dope.
it.
And then we working on more.
Yeah, we got like 3 or 4 more projects in a way. We got some laughter for you. We got some if people who like the corn in the streets. We got some of that for you. So you know, we come up with some hitters.
We're gonna come with some new shows. It's gonna be the Kultcha Presents because believe it or not, you know I say this all the time. We manufacture. You know, we create, we manufacture it, but we don't distribute it. And we
That's
don't,
a problem.
and that's a problem. Like we don't own it.
True.
So
We the consumers and not enough producers.
Yeah.
so now,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
So we got to produce.
not
more.
even that.
Yeah.
We are the producers, but we don't know how to own.
Yeah,
Because we and he's saying it, you know, and I don't want to stray off it, but it's similar. We're just saying it 2 different ways.
yeah.
And,
Because what we're not into is mastery.
Yeah.
We're not mastering it. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm sure if like our people go into space, we would view space different from other people in the history books. It would look different. It would sound different. It'd be worded different.
Why do you think that is?
Huh?
Why do you think
because
that
it's
is?
based on their perspective.
But even that,
Right.
like we view things so differently. Like
Yeah.
like you know, I'm Muslim, but you know, when they had slaves, they gave us pork. They gave us they gave us the waste. I mean, chillings stink like a motherfucker, but
So I've
people
heard.
that eat it, it was good too. Like we had the bacon. The bacon was something they threw as scraps. Now it became popular. Everything that was negative to them, the Caucasian, became popular when we made it cool to do it. When we made it taste good. When we made it look good.
Black magic is a real
And once
thing. I
we do
believe
that,
that.
we make you feel good.
Yeah.
And he absolutely right. It's like when you look at the Nation of Islam, right? They make you like bean pies, wear a suit and bow tie, right? They want to change the taste bud in your mouth from chicken or pork or whatever you love to bean pies. You understand what I'm saying? So if you go into space, for instance, right? If you put a black man or woman in space, they could stay in space longer just because of melanin in their skin and a higher blood and sugar levels. So they won't die off faster. So that's what I mean by there's a different perspective if different people go into space.
Like even with
there
that,
got to be a rule to it when
like,
one person
it's a
of
different
color only
perspective.
going to space.
It's so simple.
Yeah.
And it's the piggyback of what you're saying. It's so simple because a lot of people love vanilla ice cream, right?
I love vanilla ice cream.
You prefer vanilla over chocolate, right?
Yeah.
But you know the vanilla bean is black.
Yeah.
Most people don't know that.
Oh.
So
Okay.
give me just see how we how we perceive things.
Yeah.
I mean, so you break it down like, you had the devil's food cake, which is so bad for you, but it tastes so good.
Tastes
right?
so good.
But nobody really fuck with the vanilla icing.
Yeah.
Think about it.
More for me. That's okay.
That's an angel cake. But if you hear it, it's an angel cake.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Yeah.
Right? And so
Perspective.
You know what I mean? So
We got to change the process of thinking, right? They call it in school one-shot thinking when a kid don't know the answer to a test, right? And they ask the teacher all the time, what's the answer? What's the answer? No, the point is to derive to that answer.
Yeah, the
To
journey
learn
is
how
the
to
journey.
get to that
It's the
answer,
journey,
right?
yeah,
So
I
they
got
use
it.
one-shot thinking all the time.
Right.
The process is to remember the answer instead of remembering what's the process to the answer.
They want you to just regurgitate
Right.
what's
So-
given to you, right?
Right. So what me and Al talk about is very interesting.
Yeah.
These are the type of stuff we talk about, right?
Yeah.
So how is it relative to today? That's my question, right? Because a lot of people in 2022 don't understand.
Yes. Please explain the practical lifestyle application of your basically what you talk about. Like, how can we make that
this nigga here
an
said
actual thing?
the practical
Application.
That's what
Yeah, definitely.
That's what you're trying to do, right?
Well, that's not. See. Let me correct that. It's not what we trying to do.
That's what
we
you're doing. Sorry.
Okay, so
Yeah, okay. All right. There's another,
commercial
you know what?
game.
You know what I think?
This shit here getting live,
Oh,
baby.
this okay.
I
so
like this show.
I think this app is it
where's the
changed up.
fucking- We need the bell. We
It
need the
changed
real
up.
bell.
I'm gonna have to
We
bring
need-
the real. I'll bring the real bell.
So
I'll bring the real.
are we gonna be invited back when you bring the real bell?
course, I'll definitely bring the real bell.
You might as well take a walk on the wild side. With that one.
Yeah, you
Put
know
the
what?
tequila
Fine.
around.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
Send him tequila around.
Is that for all of you gentlemen?
He said, gentlemen. Like he said, he want tea and biscuit. Good day, Mike. So,
It's the truth, right?
You guys.
No, thank you.
no, thank you. I was just messing with you. I was just-
I got to drive.
Okay.
I'll never be
Okay.
gone.
Yeah, I was just joking too. I was just joking.
But if you want to
So
take one, I'll
crazy.
take one with you.
Oh, okay.
I'll
That's
take a
fine.
walk on the wild
All
side.
right, that's
You know what I mean?
I respect
So, like you were saying,
I'm saying like there's not enough mastery in what we do.
Right.
It's not just good enough for us to be in a NASA program.
Right.
Let alone get a master's degree or PhD.
Right.
We got to master these areas, and we don't take the time out to master these areas.
Right.
Because if we don't master these areas, all it's going to be for the next 10 or 20 years is us working, being consumers.
Right.
Right. Because
Cheers.
as far as the system is concerned, they only train people to be, workers. And
Right.
this is what we want to get out of. Just because you make $30,000 a year doesn't mean you're a low value man.
Of course not. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So this is the logic, right?
Absolutely.
When I look at things, right? When the culture look at things, we look at things. I know this may be, naive to people or elementary to people, but there is race in everything. You go on the Bell Parkway, Robert Moses built the Bell Parkway at an angle where bridges go over the top of it, so black people couldn't get into certain areas with buses because
Right.
they a lot of them couldn't afford cars at the time. And he built tons of bridges. Before, Flatbush and Brooklyn existed, you had to go through a toll through Flatbush. A lot of black people couldn't get through. A lot of Jewish people lived in these areas. It was called the County of Kings, Kings
Yeah,
County
yeah,
first.
right.
Do you understand what I'm
Yes,
saying? So if you understand the history, you could definitely know where you're going. I think we're repeatedly making the same mistakes today because we don't really know the history.
Well, when you say we don't really know the history, a lot of our history has been it's vanished, it's gone, erased.
That's true to a certain extent.
yeah, but
That's
Where
only
do
true
we
to-
look?
but hold on. Let me. But see, when you say that, right? Don't you notice every time we catch up, the dollar gets inflated?
Oh, that's interesting.
Think about war.
Yeah.
Like now the world and society is. You see everything so fast now.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all mad at Donald Trump. Majority of people mad at Donald Trump, but he didn't just expose America, he exposed the world.
He did.
Now you looking at Ukraine, and it's like they at war.
Yeah.
We been at war, and now they at war with each other, which is genocide. You start breaking it down. That's white on white crime.
Okay.
We had a show about it, but you see all the blacks that's out there get treated like shit.
Yeah.
But
not allowed to cross the border and things like that.
But you know, nobody's saying nothing about that in the massive media. In the massive media, let's not bullshit ourselves. Let's not kid ourselves. Let's not stutter. Let's not pause. Let's not hesitate. That's why we on Rain TV.
Okay.
Because we speaking the truth.
Yeah.
And she's allowing us to speak our truth.
Racism don't take a break.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
Even during a time of war, when people was trying to exile into Poland.
And what they doing? Fuck you niggas.
Yeah.
They told one black dude, you know what? You can't leave. You need to go back and fight for Ukraine.
Yeah.
But wouldn't let him leave.
Fuck am I fighting for?
There's a couple in New York City.
Hold on, let's go past
One white lady's Ukrainian.
Yeah.
There's a brother who used to be in the military.
Yeah.
And she wants to go fight the Ukrainian war because that's where her family's at, and he's joining her.
Right.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So we realize racism don't take a break. I used to ask this years ago when we all known each other.
Yeah.
I used to say, you know, if you got to feed a black kid or a white kid and you only got food for one, which one would you feed?
Everybody gets stumped on that one.
Everybody say both. What you mean? I would feed both kids. Now you can see this is an actual example in your face of who they'll feed first, who they'll save first.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we got to understand that white supremacy reeked throughout the world. They captured Africa, every part of it. And when you talk about the information, where do we look first?
Yes.
That's why you got a lot of professors and a lot of black people that's archaeologists now that went into these areas in the 80s, like Egypt, to make sure they dug up the history the best way they can so you could get the original stories.
Right.
And nobody wants to know those original stories.
Hold on, hit him with the COVID. It was war on
let's
blacks
get
too
into
in
it.
China.
Yeah, let's do that.
It was war on blacks in China.
Oh, no doubt.
I mean, that's why I was just trying to tag you.
Chinese
Think about that.
In China, they said black people brought over the COVID, took them out their homes. There's tons of clips.
That I didn't.
Living in the street.
That, yeah.
Ton of them.
Blame them, and it came, and the so-called came from them, huh? Of
Beat them and everything.
Of course.
So where we at with this? Because
we get us at every angle.
We not paying attention.
It's been this way.
But now, if we'll pay attention to the gas price.
Oh,
yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm think that's why I shout out. You know, you might talk about some of these rappers. Let's talk about Young Thug. He's putting some money together to get the Africans out of there. All the, believe it or not, the world, out of Ukraine. Yeah, the world was built on a black man's back.
Yeah.
America,
number one. Yeah.
And this is sad. It gets sad because I could look at an 80s interview with Amos Wilson, and he predicts all this. He said it will always continue.
So I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
You must have complete revolution of the system. And this is what common black folks are scared of. This is what we don't want to do. We're already mostly broke, though. Right? We already one job from losing or one check away from being poor or being homeless. This is not, like, people really think things are going to get better, and it might get worse, most likely.
Right.
Before there was housing tenements where black people inhabit them housing tenements, black men was living on the bridges in America. They was living in the streets in America. Right? So now they got the Fair Housing Act where they had to incorporate black families. And what happened? They created the suburbs and moved those black people into the projects. Yeah. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So it can't get much worse for us.
Tell them the definition of the project, because it's a project.
Of course.
I mean, like,
of course.
I see what you did
this
there.
Stuff was inhabited by.
I see what you did there.
These places inhabited by white people. All the street names is white people. Whole Flatbush was ran by Jews. Those places that they living at, that they call black euphoria, where they cook all day. These places was inhabited.
When they put you in there, they give you the Chinese restaurant.
Oh yeah, the liquor store. You gotta have
so you don't have to come out.
When you go to Church
very
Avenue,
true.
when you go to Church Avenue in Flatbush, there's a school there. That school was the second school ever in the United States. The first one was in Boston.
Oh wow, didn't know that.
Right there on Flatbush.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm sure other people heard it. I'm sure this is common knowledge.
No.
I want the knowledge to be
everything.
I didn't know that.
Everything
I didn't
that
know
we
that.
feel is common ain't so common.
Yeah, it's not common. Yeah, you can't really say
we
that.
know this from the COVID.
You guys are smart guys, man. Like, you know, and some of the stuff that you're saying, I didn't know. Like the China thing. I didn't know that. I didn't know that was a situation.
I mean, when you look at Chinese people, where did they started coming in the United States? On what state?
I don't know.
What's the first state they came in and inhabited? And do you know why they came over?
Why?
Do you know why other races came over? There was a lot of pitfalls in their own countries. This is why they came over. There was a lot of sickness and plague with diseases in their own country, so they came over.
Right.
Now, when they came over, yes, the Chinese man did face some racism against the white man himself.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he was practicing racism against black people in a country that even wasn't his neither when he came over.
Right.
So
yeah.
we got to understand this methodology, right?
Yeah.
We got to really get face to face with these things.
Oh, I see what you did
Know what I'm
there.
saying?
I'll give you a ding, but I don't trust my bell anymore. I
give
don't
that
trust
a
it.
plug.
I don't trust the
It's
bell.
out, you
I don't trust
my
it.
bell.
Give that stuff a plug. You know?
Yeah.
It would be good for once for me to go to a car show and see a black-owned vehicle there.
And what he means by black owned,
Instead of Mazda,
not saying that
Mercedes-Benz, BMW,
the cars
Lexus.
on it. He talking about
Black.
the car built
Yeah.
by a black
Africa-
manufacturer.
Africa countries got black-owned cars that have made the magazines as being one of the best cars made, but don't make it over to the Western world.
How about the kid that made the TV where it operates and runs on its own?
Oh, I posted that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we
Don't need a plug.
We don't see none of these things, but he believe it or not,
You can't.
he'll never be able to make that 1%.
Yeah.
You know what I mean by the
of course.
1%?
Yeah.
A society that run the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
He ain't gonna touch that.
Of course not.
And he just
First of all, that
invented something
that
that'll
thing,
destroy
that
it.
invention right there will disrupt a lot of things,
yeah.
and you're messing with the elite's pockets.
And if he solely vanishes or disappears,
yeah,
think about it.
yeah,
In the United States, black people are only 14% of the population. But when you go outside the United States, we the majority. We're not the minority. It's absurd to think that we can't put these people in a proper position of where they belong in society. You can't have the minority ruling the majority of the world.
So how do we fix this? How do we do it?
You asking a question that you already have the answer to.
I do.
Yeah, if you dig deep, how do you solve it?
Complete revolutionary over the system. If you want to continue to play intellectual, political masturbation mind games, go right ahead. If you want to continue to go to the schools and try to speak some sense into them, if you want to continue to go up to the governor's office and the senator and the mayor office to speak some sense into them, good luck. The system worked the way it works for a reason.
Right.
It's
We have an
successful
episode,
for a reason.
Political science.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
So we know jobs bring security to people.
Yes.
We know that, right?
Yes.
And the reason why it brings security to people, to a certain demographic, is because we don't know how to become masters at what we need to do outside of that paradigm.
Okay.
That's the issue.
Are we ever taught to be entrepreneurs?
No.
When you go through school, it's basically all right. So when you start school, if you really walk into a school and you walk into corporate America, a job, and I'm not talking about the back office. I'm talking about the ground level. You walk in there and you walk in the elementary school, and then you go look in a prison. There's no difference.
You know, I have come to that reality, but you know, I don't like to bash education because I'm not one for education, honestly. I never really liked school, but because the way
I don't think you'd be bashing. I think you'd be telling the truth.
But
the way it's structured is just not. I don't think it's.
You have children?
No.
All right, so I have a 5-year-old, right? I'm a single dad in the sense of I'm in a relationship with a beautiful lady, but that's not her child.
Okay.
And so that's why I say single dad in a sense, and I could be wrong. So I tell my child this: you need their education because we need to learn how to play their game.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. That's
It's like
fair.
chess. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
and I stress that to her every day. You know, and mind you, she's
Let me
being raised
expound
by
on that.
a man.
Let me expound on that when he say play the game. He's absolutely right. Now, if your take on this of what we should do to change it,
Right.
if your take is let's play their game, okay, let's do that the right way. Play their game. Go get the PhDs. Go get the level highest of education. Get that information and bring it back to the community and teach them how to thrive. Teach them how to be competitive. Teach them how to master those things. Do that. There's a lot of black people that go to their grave with a whole wealth of information and don't bring it back to the black community at all. That's got to stop. So is you going to play the game?
But now I hear what
you
you
to open up the doors, or you going to have complete revolutionary?
now I hear what you're saying, but it does take two, because you have to have someone with the knowledge and someone who craves it. So what if you don't? What if we as a people aren't craving that information?
Why we not?
We're
We're craving the money.
Yeah, but
You got to know what to do with the money, right?
right,
A fool and his money is soon to part,
right.
right? So you have to have knowledge to know how to see. Okay, let me say this.
Because not everybody is hungry like that.
No,
not everybody is
The
on that
question is,
wavelength.
you don't need everybody to be hungry. You just need majority of the people to be hungry.
and you think
Because everybody could get money.
Right.
Hold on, I want you. I'm gonna give you to the lamest point and the lamest breakdown of it all, right?
I'm just playing devil's advocate, by the way.
No, it's good
conversation.
Yeah,
We're not
conversation.
personalizing this.
Yeah, we good conversation. I see.
So, and once again, I'm gonna reference my child. I tell my daughter, because I'm a man raising a little girl.
Yeah.
I say to her, this money, you need to know what to do with it, because anybody can get money. It's
Right.
about keeping it. Like the young boy say, I got a bag, but you want to have a bag with no holes.
Oh, again, that's bellworthy, but I don't trust it.
So-
but yeah, that's good.
So
That's
now,
good.
So now, and that's why I said, sometimes, I do give the ignorance.
Right.
But if you're paying attention, I'm giving you a lesson. I just dumb it down a little bit. So, the bag with no holes, like I say, master their game. You got to master the credit, the FICO score.
Yeah.
All right.
It's important.
That's why we had something about cars. About cars, and we was trying to get more into the loans and the financing and how the racism was. But once you master their game, believe it or not, they will never allow us to master it to the fullest, because they're always gonna find a Judas.
Yeah. Yeah.
But once we wake up and say, you know what, we created this, and we could destroy it.
Yeah.
I bet you that we start realizing our power. Like, it's slowly coming, but every time
I
we
believe that
realize our
too.
power.
I believe that.
But it's slowly coming.
I do believe
But
that.
everything takes time.
Yes.
Look at the music industry.
Yeah.
It's independence. The independent artist is killing the game right now.
Killing the game right now.
But how many years it took? And hip hop been in existence 42 years.
Yeah.
In 1979. Right? So 42 years. How many years we've been robbed? Just for us to wake up and find out. And it's thanks to the social media and everything fast where you don't even need to do promotion no more.
You don't.
I mean, you still need grassroots guerrilla marketing.
Yeah. But it's not like how it was before.
But the word travels fast.
Yeah.
That's why if we build more black networks or get to more black streaming networks, shout out to Lil Boosie, because rumor has it he's trying to sit down with Jay, trying to do their own social media thing. But if the more we get that, we won't. I'm Muslim, so we say inshallah, God's will, we won't be shadow banned no more. Like, we can have the real conversations and touch and embark on great things that we already are. Because come on now, they talking about. And it goes back. They say they was gonna put the first African American on a dollar bill. Believe it or not, it was supposed to be Harriet Tubman on a $20 bill, right?
That, yeah.
But let me show the form of how he said mastering treachery and trickery. They used a female, right? But how many greats was there before her? You don't hear about you don't see it's called demasculating the black man. Every chance they get, backbreaking, what's the other thing they was doing in slavery?
Oh, tons of things. They were dressing little boys as girls, letting them wear earrings. This is where the pimping industry come from. This is why Detroit is so heavy in the pimping industry.
Jingle bells.
Yeah.
They put that was that head of slave running. So when you start really knowing, You learn. See, they can't really erase the history.
Right.
It's because if they erase the history, they have to erase theirs as well.
Oh,
so it's getting rough. So that's why they don't want to teach about slavery in school.
That's brilliant.
Like we can't teach slavery, but then they have,
we call it the CRT,
they have these plantations.
Like, yeah,
like
I've heard of
they
that,
got the Whitney plantation in New Orleans, right? I mean, outside of New Orleans, 25 minutes, I think, outside of New Orleans. Shout out to my lady for she brought it to my attention and gave me the knowledge of it. She's a big part of my life and my
like you
career.
Got a good one over there.
Yeah, she helps me out with it. And my daughter, she's also my inspiration. So
that's dope.
So she showed me this, right? So I'm looking at it, and I'm like, damn, he felt guilty for his ancestors. So I talked to Twin about it. Twin like, yeah, that's what it looked like to me. But I'm like, but where's the money going? Is it free to come see this shit? Or if it's getting money, is he donating this to a historical black college? Or is he going into a black community? Remember I was asking that. Like, so, like, I'm going to make that a topic of discussion. So whoever's watching this and you try to do it before us, don't worry about it, because we already got it, and you can still do it. You know why I want you to see? That's the whole thing where we get fucked up.
Yeah, and that's not a bad thing.
Like,
it's not a bad thing.
Competition breeds excellence.
Yeah,
steel sharpens steel.
not a bad thing.
And then if we get
and if
steel sharpens steel and we get a spark, we got a fire in this bitch.
Yeah, because you're responsible for like sparking that flame into somebody, and you don't know what that other person is capable of. That person could start that movement.
But now you see how they play. You see how they playing with our history.
Yeah,
they have to.
What you felt bad? Hold on, but you showing this.
Yeah. So
do you really feel bad about it? Because you're showing it. Where's the money going? What program? Because it's programs out here like we work. Like the coach is working on trying to get these programs for the kids where their moms don't have to pay a car note.
That's
to put them in a swimming class.
That'd be a huge help, I'm sure.
You know what I mean? Like, my daughter goes to an all-black gymnastics team in Long Island. I found out the owner was black, so I keep her in there. Even though she ain't doing a cartwheel.
Right.
She ain't doing a cartwheel yet, but hey, she loves it.
Right.
It's a program, but what about, and they're not expensive. Found them on Groupon, Powerhouse, gymnastics gym, whatever it is. Check them out, black-owned lady. I don't know if it's franchised, but, but what I'm saying is that it's a start.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, I'm fortunate to get up and be able to do it for her. But what about the mom that got the 5 kids by herself, struggling to make ends meet?
Right.
They deserve programs too.
True.
Because if you keep them active, if you keep a mind active, it would expand.
Yeah.
But a mind
brain
settled,
is a muscle.
A mind settled will go to waste.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I look at them saying, and I'm just giving from a parent standpoint. We talk about these charter schools. They say this or discrimination, but you know what? They work in these children's brains. My daughter's in kindergarten and she's learning multiplication. She's reading at a C level. Some of us don't know what that is, but C level. When I found out, that's great. She's doing the multiplication. I wasn't doing multiplication at 5 years old. So it's like, some things I'd be like, damn, you pushing them too hard, still let them be a kid. But you know what? To be able to compete in this America, she needs that.
Right.
Because I ain't going to be here all the time.
Right.
I mean, I'm here to protect her and guide her now. And then hopefully she'll be able to protect
the next.
And guide me. No, not just the next, but also me, because what we tend to do, it was like an old African folk tale. The father said to the son was walking him to the cliff to throw him off. And the father was crying. He said, what you crying for? You know what you got to do? He said, I'm crying because you not realize what you're doing. I'm not crying for me, I'm crying for you. And that's deep. Because we throw our elders away. I'm fortunate to know my great-grandmother. I'm fortunate to know my lineage. Like where we derive from.
Right.
You ask most kids this, and Twin used to say this to me all the time. He used to say, yo, you ask most of these people who their great-grandparents are, where they came from, they can't even tell you that. That's how far we erased.
Yeah.
I was just fortunate and blessed to sit and learn, like, my father's side of the family, we descendants of from Jamaica, but we thought they was Panamanian someone, but they came from Jamaica. They got dropped off in Jamaica, the slaves. From Jamaica, they went to Panama, and in Panama they came to the United States of America.
This is exactly what I used to say.
Yeah.
Do you remember who your great-great-great-grandmother was? And what's her full name?
No.
Your great-great-grandkids ain't gonna remember you.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that simple. Let me ask you, what should do? Let me ask you, what should we do as a people?
Oh, I don't know.
You don't know where to begin, right?
Nope.
They done blurred the lines now. They done made it gray for you, right? You was on a certain part of the pendulum on which side. Now you in the middle of it, or the seesaw, trying to balance it, right? So this is the issue, right?
Yeah.
You must be unapologetic. Don't apologize for being African.
Right.
That's number one, right? Number two, there's certain rhetoric.
I'd give you one, but
Number two, there's certain rhetoric out here for people claiming that they're Indians and not African. All right, it's a total misrepresentation of what African is, what DNA is.
I thought that was because I have nice hair.
I know. My family's from the Indian side too.
I don't even. Can I? As you said something about the hair, can I just say one thing?
Yeah.
The kinky hair is the better hair. Because it withstands the test of time and the weather. And
I'm not saying.
But you would think the thin hair, that's fact, right? But you would think the thin hair, because you know why? You've been whitewashed.
No, I'm just saying what is said.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I don't.
He's saying they say the good hair.
Yeah.
But I don't want you to put, like, when we having this conversation, don't personalize it.
Oh,
don't personalize it.
Okay.
Because we talking to one another, but we talking to the people as well.
Right, I understand.
You know what I mean? So
foolish me.
Like when I'm on camera, when we on camera, and we talking. Sometimes I say to Twin, like, yo, stop looking at me, look at the camera, because we talking to the people.
Oh, should I be doing that too?
I mean, it's just saying. So, no, we looking around, we engaging with one another, but I'm not saying stare at the camera.
No, I like to hear what you guys say. Yeah.
And the reason why I brought up the Indians is because first you got to give one, right, whether it's a child or a grown up, right? You got to get them self-confidence, right? Yeah. So I don't care if you talk about the hazel eyes is stronger, the black eyes is stronger than the blue eyes, the green eyes.
Don't forget dark skin, light skin.
Hair texture. Little do people know that there's black people all over the world. Some of them have blonde hair. Yeah. Some of them have red hair and blue eyes.
Yeah, it's true.
Right? So even in that context, we know who got the stronger eyes with color, because the color do matter. Right, it's called melanin. Right, black women have the mitochondria DNA, which chases back to Africa. So you say these things, you study these things to give self-confidence to one. Right. After you get the self-confidence, right, now it's time for action. Now it's time to make it practical, the information, and to put it into action. That's very important, right? Because people today is getting judged on a body of work off of Instagram. Right. People today is getting judged off the body of work off of Facebook Live.
That's very true.
Do you understand? And body shapes and
nobody even has a natural body anymore. And you talk about lies.
Yeah, I don't know what that is anymore. Yeah.
We must understand this. The action part is simple as this. I want everybody to hear this. You must change the relation between the master and the slave. Oh. The more things change, the more they stay the same. So even though there may be some change of a sort in the system,
at its core,
the basicness of the system stays the same.
True.
Which is having that relationship between the master and the slave, which is making money for your European master. That's the whole goal of the game. So even if they had to let Barack Obama be president of the United States to keep the relationship between the master and the slave safe so they continue to make money, that change will occur.
Right.
Yes, boss.
That's quoted by Amos Wilson in 1990 about a black president coming in the future to keep the relationship going between the slave and the master. Yeah. All right? So we are not really black men and women. We're outside of ourselves. We're not on what I would say our square, right? We're not within our natural basic personality as a black man. You is a made up black man in the system. That's why when I ask you where do you start, I don't know. Yeah. Of course you don't know. Do you understand? You're a made up person in the system. Right. Do you understand? Right. You're just grappling at pieces of Africa, pieces of Jamaica, pieces of Brazil where black people at to try to grasp who you are, right? So that's why it was important to get rid of the information. Do you understand what I'm saying? But little do we know there's black people traveling all around the world today and they digging up that information. Be careful with the DNA. They looked up 11 mummies the other day in Egypt. Out of 11 mummies, they pulled DNA strands that was barely there because the mummies was thousands of years old, and only 2 came out of that. And then they say, look, these Egyptians is not black. Where we know there's Hyksos dynasty, there's plenty of other people that went into Egypt at the time. This is the game they play. Do you understand what I'm saying? So just be careful with the rhetoric. The overall message is either you're going to play the game and open up those doors, and if you don't open up those doors, we must isolate you. You can't be in our communities. If you want to be in those communities, you can't talk pro-black and have the only black house in your neighborhood. You can't sleep white and talk black. Do you understand what I'm saying? I do. If you got a white woman as a black man, it's more of a political, social function that's going on here. What is the reason? And is it really beneficial?
What about love?
I'm have to get your point.
Is that not a thing?
What about love?
Love is created.
Hold on. Yeah, what about love?
Does love exist? That's the question.
Yeah.
Does love exist?
And what kind of love?
But does love exist?
I mean romantic.
You mean romantic love?
Yeah.
Jungle fever.
Some may call it that, but I mean, like if you genuinely enjoy this person's company, this person spending time with this person, is supporting you, and you guys you're good together. Love. I love this person.
So let's answer that. No, let's stay right there.
Yes, please. Let's stay right here.
Of course, you enjoy that person's company.
Yeah.
Of course, you have love for that person.
Right.
There's also 100 more people you have love for, just like that.
That's very true.
Why is you picking? Because it's your choice.
Yeah.
What's the social political function that created that relationship?
It's called what?
That's
condition?
what I need to know.
I mean, we were on the train together.
See,
nice.
no.
What conditions?
You get it. What I'm talking about is the individual versus the group.
Okay.
Don't individualize your life and isolate the group. You must do for what's best for the group.
Oh.
That's more important than the individual identity.
I got it.
You're not an individual.
Right.
You wear the same sweaters everybody wear. You go to Jimmy Jazz where they got the same outfit and the same Jordans and the same colors that come out on Saturday. You're not an individual. You keep individualizing yourself, which is what the system made up. When you look at a pair of Jordans, there's a group of people that decide that color at a round table. There's no individual deciding that color.
Yeah.
There's a group.
You would get a belt too, but
So I think a lot of people always have challenges in the gray area of the individual and the group. And other races understand this clearly.
Yeah.
You go with a person outside your race, they don't really welcome them.
Not
back
at all.
Right. So what's the social? Why do they do it? Do you look at them as bad? How do they keep in control? By doing this.
What they call colonizing.
Yeah.
So why don't we take the same information and apply it? We absolutely don't. You know why? Because you is a made-up black man. You is a black man. That's the way the black man in the system's supposed to be.
That's forgiven. Most forgiven.
You know what I'm saying?
Forget that.
Right. You know what I'm saying? What you consider love is something natural. It's not love. You to order to procreate. Listen, if everybody decide to stop procreating in a black community, you know what will happen?
Yeah.
What will happen?
People won't fall in love.
Oh, I wasn't going to say that.
What was you going to say?
Here we go. Let me put a scenario out there. If black women start having babies, say, listen, I want a career first. I want to start having babies at 45. I want to freeze my eggs. 70% of the black women in the black community decide to freeze their eggs to have babies later on.
Okay.
Now there's a shortage of children that are going to grow up to be what I call soldiers to fight against the system.
And that's what I was going to say. I was going to say it in the Army term that he used, but I was going to basically say that there would be less of us.
You know what will happen though? If they start doing that, and then there's already less black babies in the world today than 1990, than 1980.
That's because we're not dating our black women anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What will happen if you can't birth a nation to continue to fight, to continue to grow life? What will happen? You know what happened? Love wouldn't exist. A man would just go take it. He would say, come over here, I need a soldier, I need kids, I need to procreate, I need to do it now.
And I need to keep my name going.
That's what will happen.
So you're saying love?
I'm saying if you believe in love, it's definitely a luxury. It is definitely a luxury.
Yeah.
How can you not view it as a platinum status type thing?
Right.
Do you understand? You don't need to be in love to be married.
No, you don't.
You don't need to
most
be in love.
marriages, but most
I understand. I understand.
First
that.
marriage is love.
I do understand that.
They say, and if you don't make that one, the second one is business.
Yeah.
Because we know back then the laws was more harsher.
Yeah.
It wasn't no raping your wife. You took it whenever you want. So they changed the laws, and it wasn't considered rape. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Touchy
this way it will
topic,
go
yes.
back too. Do you
It
understand?
wasn't even domestic violence.
Yeah.
Right. So
I mean, it's,
Would you like to speak more about that?
no, I'm just saying, it's
I'm sure
crazy.
your girl would love to hear this.
No, it's great. Well, believe it or not, I don't practice violence
No, I'm just
with women.
kidding.
No.
Yeah.
But see, even with that, we like I was saying to you before, we I'm not personalizing, but we have to watch what we say and do as a people.
Yeah.
Like even when I took the shot with you, I shouldn't have took it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No. I'm saying to myself because I'm giving an intellectual conversation. People might judge that because I took a shot with you. But I didn't care because you know why? I am me.
Yeah.
And that's
He
what I'm
is
saying
him,
to you.
and you are you.
What is the economic, social, political function that makes that exist? You have black kids that get accepted to prestige college, got IQ top notch. When they get there, they don't do as good as the white kids. A lot of them. You know why?
Why?
Studies show that when you put a black kid in a white situation, when the classroom is white and the professor is white, just because the professor is not closest to his reality, which is a black person,
Right.
he cannot learn better than the other kids. So this is important to know that we need like black culture simulated around us. We need a shield. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like we don't own nothing more today than we did in the 70s and 60s when they had the Green Book.
Not at all.
In Atlanta. We still own 1% of everything like in 1960.
But we buy 100% of it.
But somebody gonna tell me
We are very
they own their
consumer
house.
based. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
own your house, you own your car. You finish that note? You finish that mortgage? don't pay the taxes.
Yeah.
The same people that gave you the house,
They'll
group,
take it away.
the same group gonna take that away.
Yeah.
You
And mind you,
cannot-
the house could have been paid off.
Yeah, it could have been.
talking
You
about
still
being paid
property
off.
taxes. That's still a thing.
I'm talking about property tax.
Yeah.
You cannot put your car on the road without an inspection and registration. The same group
Yeah.
that you got finished paying off.
Certain states, you don't have to get an inspection. Certain states, you don't have to get emissions inspection. But I know where you're going.
And take it.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
This is the system we live in.
But
The
that's-
system of what
that-
they call capitalism.
But capitalism is only in the United States of America.
Alexander, the
Majority
great
of it in
capital
Europe.
on the hill.
Yeah.
Why did not
Right.
trying to give any black people almost a franchise in football? What's going on?
Why would they? Why would they give us anything?
That was Nestor, by the way. He's off mic.
You heard a brother.
Yeah, this is your show. I'm just saying, it's your show.
No.
Listen, man, they still ain't give us what's it called? Restitution, reparations.
Reparations.
But they about to give Ukraine some money.
The better question is this. Tell me, what did they give us?
Nothing.
You got new Jordans. What do you mean?
Huh?
You don't like their sneakers?
I thought you were about to say Love and Hip Hop or something. They give us Love and
They gave you that too.
They give
They give us
Doing pretty well.
They gave us a forced reality.
Yeah.
Jordan don't even own the Jordans.
Actually, he don't even own his name.
Jordan was sued
wow.
because
Did you know that?
because
didn't know
overseas
that.
companies was making Jordans in a sweatshop for pennies on a dollar.
That I did know. I knew that.
Right.
Yeah.
But did you know he don't own his name?
I didn't know that.
A white man, a Caucasian, copywritten his name. Like
That's insane to me. Yeah.
copywriting.
Let me
He has copywriting infringement.
That's
let me give examples, all right? Because that's the best thing you could go by.
Yeah.
When you look up something like Harley Davidson, the motorcycle company, there was Chinese motorcycle companies that been wanted to get in the United States in the 1980s. You know what happened? The government just changed the law and said these are the new rules now. That if it's manufactured in the United States, other outside companies can't come in here unless they get taxed tripled of the amount that Harley Davidson is already making the motorcycle as. So therefore, Harley Davidson don't lose business. They don't go out of business in the 80s, which they almost did.
Right.
And they get to sustain their name as one of the hottest motorcycle brands out there.
And you know that goes on to this day. Right? That's why when they make a coupe,
Wait, don't go too far from the mic. I want people to hear it.
it still goes on to this day. That's why when you see a European coupe,
Yeah.
it has 2 seats in the back. So they don't kill you on the taxes. They don't get killed on the taxes. So Like he said,
okay, hold on. Let's clarify that more. What my brother's saying here is when you look at a coupe and they got 2 extra seats in the back that got no room, they put the extra seats in the back because they get lower taxes on the car to be shipped over here. They get a price reduction. So it costs less to add extra 2 seats to the back of the coupe.
Right.
Do you understand? A coupe is for a couple.
Yeah.
It's short for couple. It shouldn't be no back seats on a coupe.
Right.
It only should be 2 people.
but the United States, the Corvette has no back seats. Chevy is the number 1 car, right? In America, right?
And we just saying this information because y'all want to be intellectually masturbated, stimulated all the time.
Yeah.
Do you understand what this is again? When you look at the stock market, right? When you look at the stock market, brothers could teach me about stock market all day. The ins and outs, the details, everything.
Yeah.
My question is this: why majority of us rich off the stock market? Answer is simple. It's called white suppression. That's all it is. When a group of white people through Reddit have brought up a GameStop stock months ago.
Yeah, I was a part of this. I was
To
totally a
go
part of
against
this.
these hedge
Oh, so
funds.
you got some money on it.
No, but there's a squeeze and the whole thing. It's a whole thing, but yeah.
To go against these hedge funds on Wall Street.
Yeah.
What did Wall Street do in the government? They just changed the rule.
Yeah, they changed the rule.
Robin Hood said, we ain't paying you nothing.
Yeah, Robin
We
Hood did
shut
some
down
real
the app.
grimy stuff, yeah.
This is exactly what
real
they
grimy
did.
stuff, yeah.
And then black people want to tell me, get Robin Hood app, get Robin, you
we
can
want-
trade, you can diversify your portfolio.
And they'll give you 1 stock.
Yeah.
And they'll give you 1 stock.
Do you,
They'll give you 1
If
free
you
stock.
refer a friend,
No, some of them, as soon as you spend
I know.
$100 to give you 1.
I have
you
Robin
don't
Hood
give
too.
a fuck. Listen,
Yeah.
man.
I'm a part of the problem. I get it.
So if y'all want to keep playing these mind games, these window dressing games all the time,
Yeah.
every 10 years something new come out to throw at you,
Yeah.
to claim that you getting rich, talking about you need 5, 6, 7 incomes and write it in the book. And how I'm gonna do 7 incomes? I work a job for 12 hours. I got stocks. I don't have time to sell it. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
This is the game.
Yeah.
But I found the way to get full. I found the way to get full.
First time we gotta have 5 different incomes. to
No,
stay rich.
no, they say.
I guess you would be rich if I work 5 jobs.
They said 7.
7.
Yeah.
But you know it's crazy. They put it in every good book too. They say 7 streams of revenue.
Yeah.
These are mind games they play because they don't want change.
But you know, you see how. Not to cut you off, Twin. You see how deep the culture could get. So, and believe it or not, we come full circle. See, squares, triangles, they connect. A circle just keeps going and going.
Right.
So it's 360 degrees. So, you know, we started off, we gave you something, and then we touched on something else. But believe it or not, it was 360 degrees because it turned, and it all, how would you say, correlates? And if it correlates, in layman's terms, it all relates.
Yeah.
You know, they might say we off topic, but we not. No.
Yeah,
I'm just saying in general.
No, not
They
at
say-
all.
They say it, but we on topic.
Yeah.
We're still poor. We still disenfranchised.
True.
We still don't have nothing.
And we still making the slave master rich.
I got
Yeah.
no more excuses. I
Yeah.
can't look back no more, my man, and be like, that was my generation. Look at that. Ali and Twin, that was our age group. We absolutely did nothing. Because we always say our ancestors didn't do that much. They was
did
up against the hill.
But they did a lot.
No, they did a lot for their time.
Yeah.
But they didn't do enough to completely change the system. Right?
Maybe this change won't happen in our time. You know, maybe.
But we got to be the one who plant the seed.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I think.
No.
I think that's
wanna,
happening.
I don't want to say that because, like, and it's another thing about the culture. Sometimes we don't always agree.
Yeah.
Like we was on the phone with Henrietta Fallard. Miss Henrietta Fallard. She's a pastor. She was robbed. She wrote. She was a high school teacher at Jackson High School in South Jamaica, Queens, or it might be considered Canberra Heights, but it's South Jamaica, Queens. She wrote her curriculum that they have to write for the year. She took it into her boss, which is a Caucasian man. He took her curriculum, and now you have her science curriculum became a book that we learned in school. Generations and generations, and how she figured it out before she became principal, she was still a teacher. She opened up the book, started reading it, and was like, and when looked at her curriculum, it was like, she didn't know about copywriting. She didn't think he would do that, and he did. And you know, it was a learning curve.
Right.
But she said something to us one day. We had her on the phone. We was trying to get her on. We did a panel during COVID. We tried to get her on the phone to do it, and she said the greatest thing she ever saw, because she was part of the protests with Martin Luther King and them. She got locked up as a kid, 16 years old, if I'm correct, and I stand to be corrected. But she said to me, she said to both of us, she said, believe it or not, I've seen something that I consider to be the greatest in my lifetime, when she saw the world stand up just for that little bit of time for what was going on, what happened to George Floyd.
We had that in George Floyd in the pandemic. We had that chance. I told Al, I told people, everybody I know, this is the time, this is the chance now.
Yeah.
To permanently change this.
Yeah.
And see how quick it stopped?
It simmered down.
This momentum just stopped.
Simmons down.
Give the niggas what they want for now. And let's change it. Hold on. You need $1 million here. We're gonna get that to you. You need a couple of houses. Let's do that. Hey, you know what? We're gonna give them funding.
Yeah.
We're gonna give them unemployment. We're gonna tell them they can stay home for a little while and make more unemployment than what they do at their jobs. We're gonna offer them PPP loans, even if they didn't have their LLC yet, just to give them some money. And then you know what we're gonna do when it's all said and done? Because we putting a blindfold over them. But after we blindfold them, we're gonna pull a rug from under them. Because now we're gonna start. Okay, we know they're gonna fuck this money up. Majority of them. So what we're gonna do it. We're gonna find cases against them. Keep holding them back, making them slaves to the system.
It's like, where do you want us to start, bro?
Yeah.
It's just gonna keep. So the conversation's gonna keep going and going. And believe it or not, it's gonna be like, and I'm gonna say this. It's gonna be like a cow.
Right.
Right. A cow chews grass, right?
Yes.
But how many times it regurgitates it before it digests it?
Well, I don't know. Cows have like 4 stomachs, I think. So I don't know how that works.
You know, it was a terminology that I'm using, because believe it or not, the black people will become the cow.
Right.
They just gonna keep feeding us, and we gonna keep chewing it.
Yeah.
Try to swallow it. Yeah. Throw it back up because we can't digest it. Eat it some more, but they always find a way to just keep us
chewing that grass.
Content.
Muhammad Ali said this in the 70s. They said, listen, all white people not bad. The host told Muhammad Ali. Of course, all white people not bad, Muhammad Ali said. But I'm going to put aside those 2 people that are good and turn my back on the millions that's trying to kill us. And this is how we got to view it. If you got time to be with another race and to focus on another race.
You're talking about my white woman on the train.
I know until you brought that up. But, you know, if you had time for that, there's a famous...
He like his poking his white women.
I'm not going to personalize that comment. I'm not going to personalize that comment.
Malcolm. I like my liquor, my cigarette, my pork, and my white women.
But yeah, please continue.
There's a famous quote that goes like this. If you are focused on somebody outside your race,
right,
and you can't find somebody within your own culture or race, when the numbers are 3-1, when it comes to women and black men, you don't need somebody outside your race. You need a psychiatrist.
That is...
All right?
Yeah.
Because what is the social functioning of the relationship?
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
When we saw during the pandemic, there was a black woman who worked with a white lady and they was best friends. When it came to the George Floyd situation, she did not agree that it was racism being handed out. And that just broke up their relationship. My thing is, really talk to your friends that's outside of your race. I find more clarity in people outside my race when you straightforward with them about race. When you tell them really how you feel about race.
And I definitely hate the ones that say, I got black friends.
Oh, well, that's racist. I count that as racism.
Listen, I got one dude, right?
Yeah.
He's
I got black friends.
I mean, no, but it's the one guy, right?
Yeah.
He's a Dominican. He says, I ain't racist because my nephew's black. And I always tell them, you know, we crack jokes or whatever it is, and I tell them, just with that comment alone,
yes. Yes.
I know how you think of me.
Right.
So I said,
that's true.
And I said, I'm glad for the black man that fucked your sister.
Oh, wow. That's another bell.
You know why? You still gotta love that little boy.
What did he say?
Couldn't say nothing.
Couldn't say anything. Okay.
These are facts. Look up the history of the mulatto people. They're half and half, and how white people use half black and half white kids to fight for them in the war against black people. Do you understand? When we talk about racism means prejudice plus power. They rechanging they said that's not the definition of racism. Of course it is. When you say something salty or something about somebody race to their face, you being bigoted and prejudiced. You're not being racist because you don't have no power over them to change their reality.
That's a very good
or
point.
to do nothing against them.
That's a very good point. Yes.
So when we say Dominicans are racist, that's because in the Dominican Republic, there is people on the bottom that's of a darker complexion.
Yeah.
That is called the Haitians.
Yeah.
When we say that the Arabs are racist because they participated in the Arab slave trade, and the darker Arabs, which are the original people, are on the bottom in their society.
Right.
And once I spit it to you,
Yes.
you ain't going to research it. You're going to remember the information. It's going to stick. Because once it makes sense, like Al said, it sticks, it sponges. You soak it in.
Yeah.
When you go into a courtroom, for example, right?
Yeah.
It's always wood.
Yeah.
You go through a little door to see the judge.
Yeah.
Do you think this just made up? You just think they just came up one day? That is the docking or boarding of a wooden ship.
Oh, I thought wood just was nice. God damn it. Wow, that is good. That is good. That's really good.
See, look, when you walk down the block, right, there's a grocery store. Stores was originated at the bottom of a ship. That's where they used to store stuff.
Yeah.
Right? When you go down a block to a hospital, the original hospitals used to be on ships.
Yeah.
You get sick, they said, pray to your God that your sickness will go away. There was no remedy, there was no medicine, there was no nothing, right? So this is how the system worked. It had always worked this way. Why is the hospital all white? With white butcher aprons on.
And
Like,
that symbol is a little weird too. We could talk about that.
Check out what's going on and question everything.
You're right.
And you realize we live in a system that is controlled and are self-conscious, and to break away we need complete revolutionary. Capitalism is no good for nobody. To say that, okay, I'm an airlines and all those other airline saints and we made all the money, it's not good for nobody. There's millions of people that lost jobs due to the other airlines sinking. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Capitalism is no good. The reason why you have capitalism, the etymology of the word capitalism is the reason why you use capital letters in a word. You know you place a capital letter in front of the word because you're practicing what we call capitalism. You capitalize the words.
My whole life.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
It's a lie. Okay, my entire life. You know, with that, we're just.
What am I gonna say next? You're not black.
I don't think we can.
You can't cover it. I'm just hitting you with little nuggets.
No, I hear you.
So you can remember. You're gonna sponge it. Do you understand?
Yes. And I don't.
Just do me this favor. I want you to research one thing.
Okay.
Because
I'm
I
gonna
want to bring
research
it back
several
around
things,
to the
but okay.
beginning, and I'm gonna let Al take over.
Yeah.
Space we was talking about.
Yes, I do remember
Go
that.
look at how the telescope is made. Check out who made it, and why do you always see bright lights of so-called planets in the telescope? Then you come back to me.
All right. That.
All right.
Al,
Cool.
can you please just tell us where?
I just want to spin it to say we going to see space different because we're going to build our own telescopes. We're going to be in space seeing something different. When the white man went to space, he didn't see the sun. He said it was cold, and we just saw light. We didn't see no orb circle light.
So the Earth is flat too.
Huh?
Nothing.
No, it's pear-shaped. The Earth is pear-shaped.
Can you please tell the people where they can find you and your very informational podcast or show, or please get that information out there, please.
Get him.
So you could go on, you know what I mean? We on them other platforms like Instagram and all of them. But we on Rain TV. REYGN TV, Roku, Fire Stick, Amazon app. And we still growing. So check for us. We not doing YouTube no more. Right, Reese? Reese right there, you know, he making
Very
sure
professional gentleman.
he
over
make
there.
sure that we he making sure that we gonna get it right.
Yeah.
You know, it started as they say it always starts as many and only few still left standing. So, you know what I mean? It's been a long journey. We've been doing it. We're gonna continue to do it. We don't allow nobody to determine our success because we are successful. Because we started a program, or how would you say, a process, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, don't be bored by the information because it go over your head.
Yeah.
Right.
Nas said this, man. A Jewish man sold me a Mercedes Benz and called that car with me in it a Nazi sleigh. Don't let it go over your head, man.
See,
Jewish people don't buy Mercedes Benz.
So once again, or BMWs, or once again, anything German owned.
You know that.
Allegedly. So and they don't like the German Shepherd, the dog. So once again, with that being said, we on Rain TV, REYGN. The coach is also going to present some other shows. They're going to produce. We're going to make this thing happen.
Yeah.
I want to thank Miss Alicia Rain for actually allowing us to do it on her platform and giving us a platform.
Thank you, appreciate it.
That's really dope.
And
this
everybody-
episode is called Face to Face to Face. It's 3 of us, y'all.
So, you know what I mean? And I just want to thank everybody for taking this journey with us and continue taking the journey. I would like to
Thank you for this conversation.
I would like
It
to
was
thank
real-
Face to Face for having us
yeah,
on
real
here.
eye-opening, man. Seriously.
We done made you a legendary interviewer now. Going forward, the people you interview is in trouble,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, they were
You know what I'm
already in
saying?
trouble,
They're
but
in
okay.
trouble. You know what I saw the last episode?
Yeah.
We don't need Rob, we need Ness.
Which I told us, they told us to freestyle.
Okay.
Yeah.
And every
Yeah.
time somebody tells us to freestyle,
Yeah.
But that's
you
where the
always
best.
do this shit.
That's where the
You always
best.
do this shit when they tell us to freestyle.
That's where the best information. Like, you know, I like
we
that. I like that.
we done lost friends on freestylers.
Oh yeah, I can see that. I mean,
We done lost,
you know,
we done lost friends and gained editors and
You know, I get it. I can
and
see
new
that.
partners. It happens.
I get
The
it.
event. The event.
Oh,
yes,
April 24th, 2022. We're gonna have an autism awareness walk. It's gonna start at Beach 16 in Far Rockaway, New York. Beach 60. I'm sorry. Let me start all over.
Yes, please.
April 24th, Autism Awareness. It's Aston's Way, Autism Awareness Walk. It's gonna start on Beach 60, Far Rockaway, New York. It's gonna end at Beach 17. We're gonna give food and drinks. You know, some kids don't eat glizzies. I mean, you know, hot dogs, but they call them glizzies now. We giving out hot dogs, which I want to call glizzies, and hamburgers. We're gonna have
Glizzies.
We're gonna have tug of war. We're gonna have kickball. Believe it or not, this is all sponsored from Meligance Hair Oil and the Kultcha. Also, the sponsoring the music that's going to do the entertainment is Fubu Radio. I want to thank Keith Perrin for coming on board. This is a serious thing in our community. You know, they say it derives from vaccinations. It could come from the milk that we drink, because you know that the milk with the radiation.
I've heard about that.
So
It could
when
be
you
the
go out
water.
there, what Al's saying, you're going to get the information too.
Yes, you're going to get information about autism. I know growing up, we didn't understand and know what it was. So now we need to give an understanding because we're all the same. You know, everybody's different in a way.
Right.
You're darker than me, but we all the same.
Right.
We all the people. We all got a heart.
melanin, y'all.
Right.
Yeah. So I would like to say it one more time. April 24th.
Yeah.
The Browns and Wilcox presents Aston's Way Autism Awareness Walk.
Let's give him that introduction one more time.
So with that being said, we gonna close out. I ain't mean to take over your show, but you know what I mean.
Get him.
This is Face to Face. You rocking with your boy Alley Cat. Yeah, what up?
And I'm the infamous twin.
And we do what we do, how we do.
And the title's called Face to Face to Face.